morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you are. And welcome back to the Beat Up Planets with Return to its Grey Matter. In the last episode, we went to the Windy Dog and we pressed B to blow. We blew a big old horn. We just solved a part of the puzzle. Alright, let's just go that route. And I think that for the last part, if I do remember correctly, it's been a moment since I played this game, that the last part, after wind comes the soul, and I think that is still Christchurch. So we are gonna go to Christchurch. I know we still have quite a few options available for us, considering our normal activities within the chapter.
No point going in there right now.
But we also have our dealer's quest, of course.
I guess a church could be a place where souls choose their fate.
Indeed they do.
And so the cathedral was... Yes, may I help you? You're a little early for the guided tour, but if I can be of assistance...
Oh no, I'm not really visiting for now. I'm not with a guided tour anyway.
Really? Maybe you could help me then. Ask me some questions about the cathedral, like you're a tourist.
Well, I guess I can.
Because we are not a tourist at all. We have always been living here in Oxford, and we are not one complete, lying, sneaky little devil. Alright.
And what can you tell me about these stained glass windows?
There are many stained glass windows in the cathedral, and we have one of the few specimens of flaming heart angels in Western England, just right here.
Flaming Heart. Is that this one in the back?
Anything else special about the cathedral?
The cathedral was the smallest in the United Kingdom until 1905, when the previous parish churches became cathedrals on their own. Birmingham took the title then, and nowadays it's Derby Cathedral.
So what about this altar over there?
It's almost as old as the cathedral itself, and it features a triptych where some say Judas the Betrayer appears. It is rather unlikely, but this theory is based upon the fact that this character has a small purse attached to his belt.
How old is the cathedral?
Henry VIII officially opened it in 1546 under the name of Ecclesia Christi Cathedralis Oxoniensis.
So I guess you've done pretty well.
Really? Oh, thank you, miss.
It must have had some use. I assume the altar is interesting. Before we use the almighty spacebar, I already see that anyways. We seem to have exerted all the options with him, but before I go to the altar, is there anything else that we can look at? The angel window. There is the angel window with the red heart, which I was looking for, but... yeah, sorry, if it's this one, I can't really see that. There it is.
Beautiful stained glass window. I especially like the bloody heart. Nice touch.
Well, it is in a sense bloody, but it's mainly about the fact that it's so fiery. There must be something about this window that we can do. But we have nothing else but looking at the angel.
Beautiful
Oh. Still a lovely window though. What was the rest of the puzzle? Altogether they point to a place, there enter the name of the one who sold his soul for 30. Sold his soul? Oh, Judas! Betrayer! For 30 pieces of silver, wasn't it? That could actually be true. But why do they point to this place, I wonder? Oh, there's a switch we can pull. I doubt that it should be allowed.
There's something under there.
Oh.
I wonder what this does. I did not expect that.
Neither do I expect that this is normally allowed. Oh, that's the Daedalus Club.
It's a baptism pool.
Has so much influence. It almost feels a little bit like other Christian organizations in a certain painting. I hope you get the reference.
It's a baptism pool.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of want... Yeah, that.
It's another piece of the ideogram.
Well, in that case... I think we have them all, don't we? How did I flipped it like this, alright. I remember some part, there it is. There we go.
And that's it. Now if I can just solve this rebus, I should be able to finish the game.
Car plus X plus F. Carfax, I assume? It's not... This wouldn't be then actually car plus F plus X to get Carfax? Flower minus FL plus T is tower. So apparently that doesn't matter that this is not the right order. So Carfax tower. And then a bone minus own plus F is a phone. So Carfax phone booth. Alright. We know where to go. I can't travel from this location. Huh. That's interesting. But no, we can just leave only. Wait. If I want to leave, I go there? Oh, yeah, of course. We pull the switch so that no one knows that we've done this. And the guide, of course, never ever heard the mechanism opening. Let's just chuck that up to creative writing. By the way, it was interesting when I started the game that the people consider Zoroaster, a Persian prophet, to be one of the first magicians. Why is that interesting? Well, you might not follow my CK2 series, but I actually did a CK2 series about Zoroastrianism, where that was the main faith. Kind of interesting that these games are actually interlinked somehow. We're first gonna go to Carfax. I can't help it. I do want to progress the other part of the story, but the last time we were late with the Daedalus Club, now we're gonna go focusing on the Daedalus Club. Besides, this is puzzling, and I want to show you that I'm actually quite capable of it, despite not always having the best of luck. So, here. I thought this might be the Daedalus Club sign, but it isn't. There's no way I can... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Did I need to phone something? Phone booth? Carfax? Car... I'm bad at this, because I don't like mobiles. Carfax. Oh, there aren't that many numbers.
County Elf.
Sorry, wrong number.
County Health. Hold on there. Do we know which number to dial?
This is a Daedalus.
Alright, no. Not from this. And these are only 3 numbers. Need to think about that. You know what? Time to do the other quest for a moment. We know where to go. We must be like seriously close. The Betrayer's Prize. Only 70% actually. There's still a little bit in it. But yeah. Sam gets carded. Wonder what that is all about. This is of course about the thought experiment that we had. I don't know anymore why we had the library. This is for delivering those letters they requested. Ooh. This is the hospital?
She's both warm and disturbing, like a crazy mother or something.
I like it, but why in the hell is it over here? This is what I wanted to see. Ooh, there's quite a few things here actually. They can do.
I don't think so. Playing with fire security doesn't seem to be a good idea.
Probably later then.
On this floor are all the administration's offices, as well as the professors. Other floors are for classes mainly, so there's no need to go there.
Well, we have Linkweller here with the article that was vastly opposed to Dr. Styles, who I would love to meet. Peter?
Ugh, no thanks.
No thanks? Huh, interesting.
Looks like they're prepared for emergencies. Probably a good idea if Dr. Styles is in this department.
Well, he isn't anymore, is he? Because he was retired, so it was said. But yeah, I thought you might go for pizza, considering you were a street magician and you were never had a lot of money, it was insinuated, so I thought that might be up your alley, to be honest. Lab coats. Ooh, I can take those to, of course, impersonate somebody.
I don't see the point in taking a peek into their fridge.
Well, let's take the lab coat then and impersonate people.
Definitely not my style. I'll leave them hanging here.
Then what was the bloody point of getting in here? Almighty spacebar? No. Guess for later? Well, let's go to Dr. Linkweller's office.
The nameplate on the door says Dr. Linkweller. The name...
Yes, I know, but you won't go in there? Probably again for later then, I assume. I could still look at this, employees only, still we have entered there, so...
Employees only?
Yes, we already walked in there, so that doesn't seem like something that holds us back. Also...
Department of Clinical Neurology, Oxford University, Administrator.
Interesting that the hallway going out is a nice shining light to freedom, where going down is a red light. Symbolicism somewhere? I do think so. The girl
Can I help you?
Oh.
Hi, I'm Samantha Everett. I'm working with Dr. Styles.
Are you? You're not in the department.
No, I'm studying English Lit.
Well, that's Dr. Stiles' business. When you see him, remind him that I need that equipment receipt. Today.
That's why we came here, but... Headley's office. An opener? A dagger.
Looks almost as sharp as a knife.
Aye.
I've only started to work for Dr. Styles. I was hoping to find out more about him.
Well, it's not my place to talk about Dr. Stiles. I can tell you that Mr. Headley, he's the dean of the department. He was quite an admirer of Dr. Stiles. Naturally, we were all deeply saddened by what happened.
Can I get in to see Mr. Headley?
Absolutely not. He has a very tight schedule today.
I have something for you.
Oh my God. I gave up hope of ever laying eyes on this. The auditor's been hounding me for weeks. Thank you, Miss Everett.
My pleasure.
So, does that allow me to have a little bit of a one-on-one with Mr. Hadley?
Are you sure I can't get 5 minutes with Mr. Headley? I really would like to talk to him about Dr. Stiles.
All right, but only because you brought me that receipt. Thank God I can get the auditor off my back. Mr. Headley, I have a Miss Everett that would like a brief word. It's about David Stiles.
Send her in.
In you go.
Voila! We've done puzzling, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Dr. Stiles. I'm liking it. Oh, he's a classic.
Miss Everett, a pleasure to meet you. Won't you sit down?
Thanks. And thanks for seeing me.
I'm always happy to make time for David. I've heard from him too little of late. How is he?
Fine. Very self-directed.
Well, that's something. Are you a relative?
Me? No. I'm his assistant. He just hired me.
Did he? Interesting. How can I be of service, Miss Everett?
Notice his big leather chair, and for us a small little wooden one. Well, at least that desk can support your weight.
Are you aware that Dr. Stiles is conducting an experiment right now?
Of course. He had to submit a plan to the university. Standard procedure. Frankly, I was happy to see him working again.
Oh, that reminds me. Dr. Stiles wanted me to pick up a copy of the experiment plan he submitted. He misplaced his copy.
I think, young lady, that Dr. Stiles will have to call me and ask for that himself.
I'll tell him. Could you give me some background on Dr. Stiles? I don't know much about him.
David Stiles was one of the brightest lights at Oxford. A truly brilliant and original thinker. He was the sort of man it was easy to envy. Wealth, a prestigious family name, good looks, a beautiful wife, effortless public success. Then there was the accident. A horrific thing. There's a poem by Robert Frost. Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day. Nothing gold can stay.
That's beautiful. I wonder... Never mind.
We must be honest with each other, you and I, for David's sake. What do you wonder?
It's silly. I just wondered which is worse. To have been golden, to have had all that and lost it, or never to have had it at all.
Not at all. Perhaps David asks himself the same question.
Now that is perhaps the most interesting question I have seen so far in the game. It is reminiscent of the question, is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? In the end, I would say that it's better to have loved and lost than not to have loved at all. I understand that if you've lost your love, you can have a lot of pain, and trust me, I am more than privy to that experience. I had my share of it, and I hope to avoid it from now on, but that's a total different matter. With these losses came experience, and with these experiences came new insights. The problem is that one can never learn if one is never challenged. Unfortunately, you would rather see those challenges be milder upon the body and not upon the soul. And in fact, some of my experiences, as some of my watchers may know, have been more than painful. For instance, I have had a time that I was in a wheelchair and was told I would never ever walk again. Don't worry, that is no longer the case. But yes, my life is a little bit of a roller coaster, and for some matters, I would love it if my life was a little bit more stable. And right now, it is quite stable, and I enjoy it very much. But also, because my life is sometimes such a roller coaster, I know I have been able to help people that have had very depressive feelings or struggled with matters, simply because, even to some level, even if I cannot say I've experienced the same thing, I can relate to it. And helping such people out sometimes saved lives. Yes. So, in the end, I would say it is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. If that is, however, true for being golden, that's a different matter. Because being golden, having success, and wealth and money, if they become fleeting, I wouldn't be surprised that that might actually have a different type of impact. After all, although you never love to hear that at that moment, love can bloom again. In this poem, which, by the way, I loved, the leaves won't come back. I don't know. I know that in a career, bad events can haunt you, but there are also examples of that you can still triumph and overcome them. I think this is one that is a good puzzle, and which I would, for instance, for myself, would love to see us discussed in the comments. But yes, I had to take out a moment of your time. Let's continue, shall we?
I've heard rumors about Dr. Stiles. Students say people have disappeared during his experiments, and...
Stop. Don't repeat that nonsense in here, please.
Sorry.
No, it's only natural you would be concerned. He is your employer. There has been a lot of vicious gossip about David, but believe me, there's no truth in it.
Then how did it get started?
When someone is a little too successful, it inspires a lot of green-eyed spite. Should that paragon fall, let's just say there are certain people who love nothing more than to get out their knives and gather round the carcass. Of course, David hasn't helped himself any. If he insists on living like a hermit in that house, people are bound to believe the worst.
That is true. That is very true. And, sorry. Scratched the mic just a little bit as I was contemplating what was happening here. And, well, considering the mic is very close to my mouth, my finger and my hand is not the smallest, well...
You mentioned that certain people were jealous of Dr. Stiles and might have spread the rumors. I don't suppose you'd tell me who. It might be good for me to know in case I run into them.
No, I don't think we need to discuss that.
Okay.
Well, actually, we already have one, I think, on the list, which would be Dr. Linkweller.
So you're convinced that Dr. Stiles poses no danger? No danger to, say, students who are participating in one of his experiments?
Absolutely not. He may be on leave, but he's still a valued member of this department. I've reviewed his case personally. There's nothing physically wrong with David Stiles. It's been a pleasure, Miss Everett, but I really must get back to work.
Thanks, Mr. Headley. You've been a big help.
I only wish the best for David. I hope you'll treat him well and be a support. He allows so few people near him.
I'll do my best.
Goodbye.
I must say,
Bye.
his boss is amazing, supportive of him. Wow, if that was your boss. Well, you got it
I want to
good.
find out who David's enemies are inside the neurobiology department. I should snoop around in David's files.
We already did that. I would say that was Linkweller, but perhaps we are now given a new option to look at new files.
Stiles' experiment plan is probably in that filing cabinet. It would answer a lot of questions if I could get my hands on it.
But that requires talking to her, I assume. But there is a copying machine, so we can always...
It's a copy machine.
somehow perhaps use a trick to get it? A magic trick and then copy it? Anything else I can interact with this? Not that I can see. I wonder actually though what this device is, but let's see if we can talk to her again.
Dr. Stiles asked me to get a copy of his experiment plan. The one he filed with the department, he misplaced his copy.
I'm afraid Dr. Stiles will have to come by himself for something like that. Or telephone. We don't give those kind of documents out to students.
But I'll tell him. I guess not everyone in the department is a fan of Dr. Stiles. At least, that's what Mr. Headley says. Is there anyone in particular I should watch out for?
Mr. Headley doesn't tolerate departmental gossip, and neither do I.
Ah.
But it's already so clear.
Oh, Mr. Headley asked if you would bring him a cup of coffee.
Did he? That's odd. Mr. Headley gets his own coffee.
Wait, and she now leaves this easily? Normally he gets his own coffee, and B, we just asked for something that wasn't really
Damn,
allowed.
she took the key. I need to find a way to snatch it somehow.
Huh. Well, that's gonna be another magic trick, I assume.
She keeps the key to the filing cabinet in that cup. I could try to take it with sleight of hand, but she's a real hawk. This will require something a little more devious.
Yep, it's time for magic trick again. No. This has to do with card tricks. I don't think that helps. Perhaps disappearing ink would work, that she will have to clean her clothes.
That trick doesn't fit the situation.
No. It's definitely not Omnia's mailbag. Telephone psychic?
That trick doesn't.
Could work if to get her rid and have Dr. Styles copy the plans. Up in the smoke I don't think will help. Ooh, perhaps they need to get the medkit?
That trick doesn't fit the situation.
I'm just trying to think of anything. The football, I don't know what this is. You invite members of the audience.
Huh. I like that one.
That's not what I want. I wanted to pick the page, which is why I was put under here.
That trick
Doesn't fit the...
That trick.
I know.
That trick.
But how... Thank you. I was a little slow to react with my mouse, but then I don't know what to use.
That trick.
That is also what I thought.
Yes, that should work. But I'll need a magnet.
Okay, that apparently is correct. Why is the bottomless cup correct? Hold on. Just... If I could read this. So the bottomless cup is the supposedly correct one. I hadn't thought of tricks to make her go away for a moment here. The problem is that the same key to flipping the pages also makes me move this book around. And there are sometimes you see this subtle change while I actually just want to turn the pages. Okay, so what is this? This is confusing and effective little visual gag. You will need some props, a small magnet, a cup, and a small item made of metal like a coin or a key. During this trick, Pater might explain that this is a bottomless cup like the one described in legends, like the cornucopia and the Holy Grail. The cornucopia was indeed filled with fruit, but the Holy Grail was that, well, actually it was endless liquid, wasn't it? Or was it that the liquid was holy that was put into it? I'm not rightly sure. But we'll need to buy a magnet. Alright, well, we can definitely do that. That's the thing we can do. I still think we did quite a bit on this episode. I mean, definitely I still need to figure out which phone booth to go to. It's interesting, by the way, that Christchurch is now grey. So this is completely done, as is St. Edmund's Hall. And this is still golden, so there's still things to do in the Dread Hill House. We finally now have the grey things active. I'm going to go first to Oxford Town and see if we can buy a magnet at Mephisto's little shop. Afterwards, we
Hi,
might just...
Mephistopheles.
Miss Everett, how kind of you to visit.
Oh. Interesting. There was an interaction, but I wondered if she was going to go about the phone number or whatever, you know, but... perhaps we should show to him? Magnet. Phone spy. Solid water. Devil in a box. Shredded paper noisemaker. Solid water. Is there a magnet in here? Fake thumb. Magnet.
I was going to buy a few things today. For my nephew. He's just starting out.
Your nephew has good taste. I still find those items useful myself. Take what you need and pay me on the way out.
Thanks. Classic
Well, I'm just gonna do this one only. Can we do this? Can we buy this? Do we have enough
I
coin?
picked up a few things. I need to pay you before I go.
I know what you took. £12, please.
Neat trick, that one.
Merely a shopkeeper's necessity, Miss Everett. Enjoy your day.
Thanks, I will.
We did, of course, get some money from the fact that we did the first day for Dr. Styles, I realize. Right?
Styles paid me a week in advance. It feels good not to be stone broke. Of course, that means I actually have to stay here for at least a week.
Still, we now have a magnet. That was £12. I didn't need to go here. Sorry. Well, let's go back to the Radcliffe Infirmary. I mean, we have the magnet now. Let's do a magic trick in this episode. It is, after all, grey matter. Alright, let's look at it. The bottomless cup. Palm the magnet in your right hand. Magnet. It's the left hand. Mirror things. Thank you. Right hand. Take the cup in your left hand. It could... What if you were just vice versa? You know, if you weren't right-handed or left-handed? Does this book take that into account? Take the cup in your left hand, show your audience the cup inside and out to show them that the metal object is a cup. Move the cup from your left hand to your right so that your palm with the magnet is pressed up against the side of the cup. Alright. Manipulate the cup. Manipulate right item. Turning it upside down and shaking it. Nothing comes out, the item has vanished. It actually has been in the magnet. Misdirect your audience by having them look around for the object. While they are distracted, take the object from the cup in your left hand and vanish it up your sleeve. And then, there. That should be it.
Hey, that key is missing.
What?
Yeah, see?
What on earth? You didn't take it, did you?
Me? Why would I want it? You have a spare, I hope.
At my flat.
That sucks.
It even blows.
Okay, now then the disappearing is probably to get her to go and change her clothes.
Huh, I like that one. But it doesn't really make sense in this case. Huh.
No, I'm trying out to find out which...
I need to get Susan out of the room so I can get in that filing cabinet. A medical emergency would do the trick, so to speak. But I'll need some props to pull it off.
And those I think I'm gonna buy off camera. So I was right in a sense that I do need a trick to make her move away. But for that I need more stuff. So I'm gonna go back to Mephisto off camera, and then we'll return and try to do even more magic tricks, along as well going perhaps to other locations that we still have to visit. But for now I say, I thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.